Well, we've both been there before. Planning a wedding, it can be stressful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No,
It
it's
should be
fun,
enjoyable. Joining us
right?
with tips on how to manage wedding stress is clinical psychologist Dr. Tim Hope. Now, this is specifically for a wedding, but you can apply this to any event that you may be planning.
Yes. Yep.
In
Even
life.
vacations, yeah, everything.
Now, the first tip is to take an assessment. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so what I want you to do is to be thoughtful about what are your strengths? What are you good at? Are you good at organizing? Or are you more the person who's creative? Are you the one who does the get up and go? Or are you the one who just makes sure that stuff gets done? So taking that self-assessment really is about looking at your strengths and places that you're not so good at, so that then when you go into the planning, you know with your eyes open what you might need help with.
And that makes the divvying up process a little bit easier, I can imagine, because that's tricky sometimes. The next thing is you need to stay connected to your significant other.
Oh yeah, so this is a huge event. Planning a wedding or planning a big vacation. So planning a wedding takes a huge amount of time. It's very easy to get distant from your partner. And so really, oh yeah, well, I'm getting married to my partner here, so let's make sure you take some time, go for date nights, spend some time together, have dinners, talk about your planning, or don't talk about your planning. Just try and stay connected.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do kind of focus more on how everyone else will feel instead of realizing it's about you. It's supposed to be your day. So you have to take care of yourself.
So you can have some fun.
Right, yeah, and that's what it's all about. So what do you mean by take care of yourself? Is that maybe treat yourself to a spa night throughout the planning?
Every person's a little bit different, right? So you may want the spa day, or you may respond to exercise. Do take care of yourself. Use those things that really work for you, that help you to feel better. Get that exercise, get that massage, read a good book, take a night off. Do the things that help you to be rejuvenated, re-energized, so that you can get back into it the next day.
This next one, it's a little bit of a taboo because people want to be 100% excited, looking forward to it. But you need to allow yourself to be nervous, even though nervousness necessarily isn't a feeling that people should associate with getting married.
Well, so marriages, if you look at a scale of stress, marriages are rated at 50% in terms of the level of stress that people experience when they go through a marriage. Okay, so that's a lot. Now, it's normal to experience nerves. It's normal to experience anxieties. This is a big-time commitment that you're making, a lifetime commitment. And just because you're feeling a bit of anxiety, just because you feel a bit of nerves, it doesn't mean you don't want to get married. It's just natural because this is a big shift in your life. So being able to allow yourself, validate yourself for having those feelings, talk about them with a friend, jot them down in a journal. Just experiencing them doesn't mean that you're going to call off the wedding. It just means, oh, this is a normal part of the process.
Now, I noticed you said talk about it with a friend. That's a situation where it's very difficult to talk about it with your significant other. But is there a way that you can approach it that's easy and can be done?
So you're spending your time doing your date nights. You get out for a dinner with your partner. You have some fun in looking at patterns that you're going to be selecting for your registry. Well, you can also talk about, geez, how are you doing? This is pretty stressful for me. I imagine this is stressful for you. Do you have any concerns about things that are coming up? Do you have any concerns for after the wedding? It's okay to open up a conversation. Again, it doesn't mean that you're calling off the wedding. It just means that you're starting to open a dialogue. And opening that kind of dialogue around your wedding gives you a good roadmap for how to have important dialogues about important things later on.
And there's also all of the influences and people's people chiming in, you know, family members and stuff. So there's all of that stress too. So there's a lot going on internally when you are planning a wedding. So you suggest that people jot down their feelings.
Yeah, I really find that a lot of people find journaling to be very helpful. Whether it's as simple as list of things to do, or expectations that you may have, or those concerns or anxieties that you may have, or just journaling the process of, here's what I was experiencing, this was hard for me, next time I face this kind of challenge, here's how I'd like to handle it. It just is a good vehicle for being able to put stuff down so then you can reflect on it later on.
I think your last tip, it's hard for a lot of people out there to let go a little bit, but you can't be afraid to delegate because let's be honest, it's a huge event. You can't do the whole thing on your own.
No one, as wonderful and as super as each of us is, no one is perfect. No one is capable of doing everything on their own. And again, in fact, learning how to delegate, learning how to share those responsibilities and use the strengths and resources of your friends and your family hooks them into the process, makes them feel like they're being helpful, but it also helps to relieve some of the stress for you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, these are great tips. Dr. Hope, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
And everyone can apply this to their life, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.